Hello and welcome back, guys. This is Ibrahim Quraishi here, and today we are going to begin this session 36 on VMware tutorials for beginners in VMware vSphere 6.7. So today I'm going to introduce you to the new topic called advanced troubleshooting using vRealize operations. So vRealize operations is basically also known as vROPS. It is an amazing tool which you can use to monitor the environment. I have some good news before we start our session. I have successfully achieved 2,000 subscribers today, and I'm very pleased with it. I want to thank you all for the comments and feedback which you have given me, and I really appreciate it. This is going to be the last session in this VMware tutorial for beginners 6.7 series. I have another session which I'll show you how to install PowerCLI and how to get started with creating your MyLearn account, and also hands-on lab. So I'll be using my blog to do that, which is agileops.co.uk. But for this session, this is going to be the last one, because I have a lot of requests from you guys to start the new vSphere 7 course, which I have completed pretty much, and they are going to start from next week. I just want to give you some heads up about this new hypervisor. VMware's new hypervisor is vSphere 7. It's a rebuild from ground level with Kubernetes baked into it. It enables developers to use the Kubernetes native APIs which they are used to normally, and they can use it to speed up virtual machines. So my training will be around vSphere install and configure, but I'll be dipping into the new features and the exciting new functionality which vSphere 7 and vCenter 7 is bringing on. So we'll be sure to follow the post and share it with your friends, and hit the like button when you see my videos or when you watch it, and also hit the notifications to all, so that you get all my updates which I'm posting. Okay, so let's get started with the agenda for today. So we are going to look at introduction to vROPS, and we'll do the live demo. vROPS, as mentioned earlier, vROPS is vRealize Operations Manager. It's a dynamic monitoring tool for virtual environment. So as you know, traditionally we had like physical servers, so the monitoring tools were very static monitoring tools. We need to add each and every IP of the server which we want to monitor, and today's tools are more dynamic. So we can spin up a VM, and if we don't need it tomorrow, we can delete it, or even a couple of hours we'll delete it. So we want a tool which monitors everything from a point of view of a virtual environment. So it can see whether a VM is spin up automatically. You don't want to spend hours configuring it, installing agents on it, and then the same goes the other way around. You don't want to spend time removing it when you no longer use it. So with the new world, where basically containers are going to become norm, so workload like virtual machines and containers are going to be running alongside each other. Containers just spin up for a couple of minutes maybe, or it can run for a couple of hours, and when the work is done, they are going to be burned down, and a new container will be spun up. So this is how dynamic the modern applications will be running, and this is why vROPS is the best tool for modern applications, for monitoring modern applications, or not just modern applications, all the virtual environment. So it basically hooks up on the vCenter and monitors everything from there. It's also obviously very helpful when you are trying to troubleshoot anything, when you're monitoring when you're trying to monitor your environment. You can monitor the health using vROPS. You can do the capacity planning. You can do forecasting based on the requirement you have. So if you think you have 6 new projects coming up, and you'll be spinning up like 20 to 30 VMs with so and so spec, you can draw a forecast and see how your environment or a particular cluster behaves, whether you need to plan ahead and buy new resources like memory, or buy a brand new host even. So those sort of things you can plan ahead of time. Also, I have done like I have used this for doing a lot of exercises for cost savings around right sizing the environment, which allows you to reclaim the unnecessary allocated CPUs and memory on the environment, where you can save those, which is a cost avoidance to allow you to provision new projects. So you can do those sort of things as well. So for monitoring, we have dashboards, which are different types of dashboards. We will look into it in a minute when we start the demo, but we have different types of dashboards. And then what we do is we have widgets in vROPS, which is a collection of related information about attributes. So it's like resources what you are running in, you'll see in those widgets. It can be application, or it can be overall process in the environment. So you also can have reports which you can run from vROPS. So you can run reports for how many snapshots you have running in your environment. You can run reports on thick provision VMs which you have in your environment. And as I was saying, so you can also do capacity planning with what if scenarios. What if I want to provision 20 VMs for a project in this particular cluster? How would my environment behave? These are the specifications for the VMs, like 16 gig 16 gig memory and 8 gig CPUs and stuff like that. And we can see how our environment behaves. It also has something called time remaining, which shows how long your resources are going to last, which is really cool. So this is how it looks like. Let me quickly show you. Whoops. Okay, so when we log in, you can see the host utilization. These are the widgets. So you can see that this is pretty much green. You don't have anything red. This is the heat map. If it goes to amber, yellow, amber, and red, that means you're having some issues there. But everything here looks green, which is good. So this particular one, as you can see, is size by CPU in demand. This is by memory, and as soon as you click on this, you get the drilling down to top 10 VMs, host CPU demand percentage on this particular host which I was selecting, and then obviously you can do the same for these. This is another close-up. And this is how it looks if you have constraints, resource constraints. So host sized by IOPS and colored by average. So this basically is saying that the IOPS in this particular host has gone up. Okay, let's quickly look at the demo here. So quite a few information is available on pubs.vmware.com. What you can do is you can go through and see what is a heat map widget, what is the health chart widget, relationship widgets. So there's a lot of information available here. You can check that out at your leisure. Now this is vROPS. Let's start from the beginning. This is the home page. When you log in, it's quite overwhelming when you look at it first time, but you can easily understand what it is. So there is optimization capacity, which means you can reclaim CPU or memory here, which I was saying, and save some cost, which is cost avoidance. Rather than saving some cost, you can avoid some purchasing of new hardware. 64 pounds, not a lot for me, right? So but you can obviously click on reclaim, and then it shows this is my data center, it has 1 year remaining. I can click on optimize, and then it shows me which and where I can actually do reclaims. So it's basically saying reclaim resources. It's going to drill down and say 38 pounds on this cluster and 20 pounds on this cluster. But let's start from the beginning. So as I was saying, so we can have operations overview, which basically shows us how our environment is. So this is the summary, and this is the data store, cluster, host, and total number of VMs I'm running. I'm having in the environment, and total number of VMs which is running. So you can see I have 8 VMs running, I have 27, power down is 19, and I have 8 data stores. So this is the cumulative uptime, and these are the alerts. So there's one critical alert you can see here. So I can select that, and you can see and untick it, so how dynamic it is. So when you see that, you can basically close these widgets as well. You can like narrow them down, so they are quite flexible. You can like expand them again. So let's dive into performance. So if we are looking at performance, you can look at the environment overall, and it says your workload are optimized according to the settings. So whatever settings we have, my settings are default settings. So you can see the workload on the demo cluster is 75%. On my site A, London, is also optimized with CPU and optimized with memory, and it's fully automated cluster, so it's also checking at the DRS settings. Be sure to check out the last video which I did on how to enable DRS. I'll put the link in the description. So again, as I was saying, we can do some right sizing. So it's basically if I click right sizing, it says you can downsize 11 VMs to right size our environment. Instead of 6 CPUs, you can reduce the number of CPUs and memory. So that's another feature which we can use. So I want to show you a little bit of dashboard, then we'll jump in troubleshooting. So this is the VM configuration dashboard, which is what I had open when we started the demo. So as you can see, it gets really into a lot of details. So you can see the operating systems I have like CentOS, CentOS 7, CentOS 8, yeah, and then I have Microsoft FreeBSD, Windows 2016, yeah. So you can see that they are quite a lot, and I can uncheck this and I can see dynamically how these pie charts are changing. Now I can see guest tools version. So VMware tools is a very important thing. You need to have them running, updated tools. You need to have updated tools running, sorry, so that you get better performance of your environment. While we are at dashboards, what we can do is we can click on all dashboards, and then we can see other dashboards available here, like vRealize assessment, vROPS optimization assessment. So this is for vROPS automation operations. So basically we have self troubleshooting. So this is related to vRealize assessment. For optimization as well, we have some. For capacity, so this is the heavy hitter VMs. We can check that out. So for your environment, basically you can see log in the morning, and you can check out which VMs are being the noisy neighbors, which are basically screaming the head off, saying I need more resources, I need more CPU, I need more CPU, and I need more memory. So this is how we can say it. This is my son in the background saying I need more resources. Maybe you heard everyone. It. Hello. Okay, so this is how you can drill down into each one of them. So if I select an object, I will be taken directly into that object, and then I can see the overall health. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of let's get back. So the dashboards are quite simple enough, but you can customize your dashboard as well. So capacity utilization, let's try another dashboard before we finish the dashboards. So you can see host utilization, so which are the heavy hitting host. This is the one which I had in my slides as well. You can see there are quite a few dashboards here. So host size by IOPS is now gone down. In my demo I had it red. I was spinning up quite a few VMs at that time, and IOPS gone up at that time, but now it's gone back to normal. What we can do is we can select this is dynamic, so it basically populates all the data here, which is really cool. And then host this IOP trend, you can see the trend, how it was busy, what time it was busy. And you can see over here I was building some VMs around 10 o'clock, and it has gone, you know, higher over this time, and it's gone lower now. So see, you can see the trend easily, like 8 p.m, 9 p.m, and 10 p.m. That's when I started spinning up some VMs for my demo to see some action here, so that I can show you. And then this is how I captured the thread. And we can see this is by network. The network was okay, but there was some spike in the network here. And then we can go up and check memory. So memory on 104 host, you can see it's quite static. 103, yeah, 105. I think I used this one recently. Yeah, there's a bump there, so I spin a VM there. So this is quite static as well. So this is my physical hosts. And then we have CPU, so we can see all these. We can do views, we can create views, which you can see here. You can views for everything. By default they have quite a few there. And then another thing I was discussing was reports. So there's a lot of reports which are already here built in, so we can pick one. Possibly we can pick one which is a quick one for you. So executive summary, have inventory, vCenter, inventory report, virtual machine. I wanted to see whether there is a snapshot one. Let's see. We can use this filter and check snapshot. There you go, a virtual machine snapshot. So select that and play, and then run it across the entire environment and click on OK. So now your report is running. And it has been generated. So it's generated 2 seconds ago. So you can open it as PDF. Hopefully it works. I mean, hopefully the PDF works, because sometimes I get problems when opening PDFs. So open when done. Yeah, it should open. Or we can open a CSV file as well. Let's try that. Okay, so we got the CSV file. Let's open that and see. There you go. So I got the list of VMs that has snapshots. So it also says how old they are. So vCenter server is 185 days old. Wow, I didn't even realize that. And look at this VM. IAM VM2, 297 days old snapshot. And there's another one which is 209 days, 209 days and 75 days. You know what, guys? I tell in my videos that you should not be keeping it more than 72 hours. And look at my environment. Tuss, right? But this is a good way to figure out what you have in your environment. If you have more than 2-3 admins, I'm sure you will find a lot of surprises in your environment. Surprise, right? So I'm going to clean up my environment. I'm going to get rid of these snapshots. And yeah, so this is a good example here of reports. And as I said, you can search for delete this report. No, I want to keep it. But what we can do is we can search for so many things. There's a lot of stuff you can do, like undersized VM, powered off VM. So if I want to get a report on, you know, the VMs which are powered off, we just do that. I'm sure I have a lot there, and that we can, once it is done, we can see it's processing at the moment. Yeah, that's done. There you go. So these are all the VMs which are powered off, and they are using this much disk in total, nearly 800 GB of disk, which is wasted because I have these VMs which been powered off. And it also says which clusters they are, parent clusters, and which vCenters. So yeah, it's a really cool tool. It will make your life easy. And also Power CLI, I know I didn't do a complete session, but next session I'll do how to install Power CLI. I'll show you some cool bloggers who basically have done it really nice, and you can follow those. I'm not going to do a complete demo on this because this is going to be the last session for this course. I hope you enjoy this session. If you are enjoying it, give me a thumbs up, please. Alerts, we can set up alerts, and we can basically alert if anything goes wrong, if your VM goes powered off, or if a host in your environment goes belly up. You can set up email alerts to get an alert saying the host has gone down, or a power failure, or anything like that. But yeah, these are all the alerts. Another good thing which I wanted to discuss and I forgot is the batches. So we are over here. You can see these badges in alerts. So these are the badges. So this red badge is the critical health badge. So let's open these badges. So in general, what we'll see is we'll see these badge on the home environment. Well, it used to be the home environment, but now they basically changed it a little bit. So the badges basically shows you the overall health. If they are unhealthy, it's red. If they are having some issues, it's amber, as you can see here.
And if it's healthy, then it's green.
Yeah, if it's healthy, it's green. Right, then you're right. So, and then we can go and check out the environment. So each and every, oh, there you go. Speak of the devils, the badges are hidden here. So you can see the object monitored remotely, universe, vSphere world, which is the entire vSphere world is basically the entire vCenter environment. In vROPS, it calls it vSphere world. So if I click on vSphere world, you can see health is green. So these are the badges: health, risk, and efficiency. So if we go and click on the world, I'm already there. Let's check vCenter. Let's expand that and check the vCenter. Yeah, so again, these are the badges. So now I want to go back. I think it's a quick way to check that was where I was. So here it is. So it's the health badge, the risk badge, and the efficiency badge. So these badges basically show us how our environment is behaving. If there are any errors, this will show amber or red. So if the health has gone red, then you know there's a problem in the health. If the risk has gone, then it shows spikes, and you can check that. And also with the efficiency, how it is performing. We can check the data centers. We can customize this how we want. Some of the VMs which have been powered off, the health has gone gray because it's unable to detect this is what I was talking about, the being a dynamic environment. See, cluster health is gone amber here, and then this is a network, I think, VDS, VM traffic, and its risk is gone high. So this is what I was talking about. So this is what is the benefit of having a dynamic environment, guys. And then this VMs, if they are powered off, which we had here, some of the VMs like CentOS VMs, the health has gone gray. So it's basically picked up that they are powered off and they are not monitoring. Now before we finish, we'll quickly look at the administration and then we'll wrap up. So when we are configuring the vROPS, we basically install vROPS and then basically we add the vCenter. So and we can have a setup with vROPS where we have a master node which runs the analytical engine, and also you can have some remote collectors for vROPS. Guys, if you need a demo on how to set up vROPS, how to properly set up vROPS depending on an environment for like 2000 to 3000 VMs environment, I can give you a high level diagram how to configure it using, we can have analytical node, one or two analytical node, and then you can have two nodes which are just the nodes, like a master node for doing the configuration, and then two analytical nodes, and then the rest of it, what you can do is you can set up some remote collectors to collect the data from all your vCenters. If you have more than one vCenters, you can also collect data from storage and various other things. So if you want me, let me know in the comments below, and I can do a diagram of how you should be setting up vROPS depending on different scenarios, the best practices from VMware and from other resources really. So this is how you do it. You go to administration, you go click add, and then you basically select the solution pack, and then you just go and install it. This is how you add the solution pack. But when you're adding the vCenter, you go down here. Basically, as you can see, the vCenter adapter is running here, and it's collecting and the data is receiving, so it's all healthy. So you can start collection, stop collection, or reload. So you can see this, and then if you want to add more, basically you can add more as well. You can add more vCenters as well here. So this is the admin side of it. So we can have configurations, and then we can see endpoint operations. There's not a lot in here because I don't have it configured much, but yeah, this is the administration side. You can have something called super matrix if you want to define something which is not already in the built-in matrix which we have. We can create a super matrix. I'm sure you'll find a YouTube video which shows you how to create a super matrix, and then you can use that super matrix on a particular object so that you can define your own thresholds, like when it goes from amber to green or when it goes from amber to red. So those sort of things. So I hope you enjoyed this session, guys. I enjoyed it a lot, and from next week I'm going to start the new sessions with vSphere 7. Be sure to check them out, share them, and like them, and like this video as well, of course. As I was saying, just want to, because this is the final session, we have completed a lot of topics. Today we just covered introduction to advanced troubleshooting with vROPS. We have getting started with Power CLI, creating the mylearn account and resource using hands-on lab, VMware hands-on lab. So I'll do a session where I'll show you the resources, and I'll point to my blog with some stuff, or point to some awesome blogs which people have already written how to get started with Power CLI if you want me to do that. But that's about it, guys. This is the last session, and I hope you liked my session. Thank you for watching. Reach out to me and just say hi if you are subscribed to me, and if you enjoy watching my videos, I would love to hear from you. My Twitter handle is Ibrahim Quraishi. My blog, this is my new blog. Most of the videos which I'm going to do in the new new training vSphere 7 install and configure. I'm going to do a step-by-step instructions with screenshots how to install these how to configure it on my blog as well, so you can follow it alongside if you're doing it at your home. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to my blog because there's a subscription button there as well. And question of the day today: what is the best feature you like in vROPS? Yes, there's so many features which we discussed. What is the one you like? So we have, you know, optimization, which it can do, right sizing, which it can do, you know, reports for you, the monitoring side, you know, and reclaiming along with right side, capacity planning. So there are so many things. So which one is the one which you like and which you think will be useful in your virtual environment? Let me know, guys. Okay, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe and enjoy watching. Keep sharing, guys, and also I hope you are staying home and staying safe. Cheers, bye.